climate is changing. Climate has always changed. I mean, throughout the scriptures, throughout archaeology, everybody knows that climate is changing all the time. The question is human beings, are they causing the climate change?
You certainly continue to blaze a trail when it comes to climate change and when it comes to fighting against what you believe to be some inconsistencies in scientific presentations. Mm-hmm. Is it worth it for you to fight against this?
It is, because the regulations are people know, for example, in the Obama presidency, what he's done. He's added more debt than all presidents since George Washington combined. He's done. People know that. They know what he's done to the military in disarming America. They know that he has spent $120 billion on global warming without any kind of an appropriation or an authorization from Congress. These things people are pretty much aware of, but they're not aware of the cost of regulations. And the farmers certainly are aware of it now. So my job is to make sure that people are aware of it. And frankly, we're winning. You have people like Tom Steyer, who has admittedly put $75 million of his own money to try to resurrect the issue of global warming by electing Democrats to the Senate. And look what happened in the last election. So they're desperately trying to do it. They won't talk about science. They say the science is settled, the science is settled. One of the most preeminent scientists in America is a guy named Richard Lindzen from MIT. He said that controlling carbon is a bureaucrat's dream. If you control carbon, you control life.
So what do you say to people who are watching this who may agree with you that human beings are not contributing to any kind of climate change? Why is it important for them to pay attention to everything that you're fighting for, not just in today's hearing, but everything that you have for years and continue to fight for on this particular issue?
The reason it's important is that it would constitute the largest tax increase in the history of America if they're able to do that either by regulation or by legislation.
Do we have a responsibility? Should we recycle? Should we drive hybrid cars? I mean, is that going too far?
Oh, that's happening today. A lot of people do. They're not so much doing it because they think that CO2 emissions are causing all this much problem. Most of them are doing it because it's economically in their favor. We have laws in the books that, right now we have electric cars that are out there. Well, electric cars don't have to pay for gas, and they don't have to pay into the Highway Trust Fund for the gas that they use.
My last question is, you famously brought a snowball to the floor of the Senate. My only question is, how did you manage to keep that snowball from melting?
A young man named Chris Ferrari was a page. He happens to be from Oklahoma. I went down and I thought, outside it was an unprecedented snowstorm. This was just a few months ago. And I said, I want you to go out there and make a snowball and bring it in to me as soon as I take the floor. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that as an example of what's happening. This is all in jest. This is not, I think we all realize that when you have a warm spell or a cold spell, that's not climate, that's weather. Mm-hmm. That's a different thing altogether. But just to kind of lighten it up, people take things too seriously around here. I said, give that snowball to me. Then I'm going to throw it at the presiding officer, but I'm going to throw it low and I want you to catch it. He's very nervous. So we did that, and it didn't have time to melt.